Hi, Happy New Year to you, my dear viewers, my dear followers. I hope the 12 coming to 13 days that we have so far moved into this year, are going on well for you. I welcome you again to this, our farm, our mixed farm project, where I've shared always, we have coffee, we have banana, we have maize, we have animals here, and of course we go on introducing several other crops. Now, as we were closing last year, I shared with you about our journey all throughout the year 2025. I showed you our coffee establishment right up there that we had decided to intercrop with banana in our unique way of between every 4 holes putting a banana stool. That is how far it has reached, as you must have seen in that video. And then I remember he told us that in the new year 2026, we shall continue with the same project, expanding our banana plantation intercropped with the coffee. And here we are on the 13th day of 2026. We have already done it. You can clearly see we have already added our banana plants, our banana, I think I should call them seeds. As you're seeing on the camera, we have already added them into the ground clearly. As you can see, still in that unique system of between each 4 plants of coffee, we put a banana plant between, or amongst, actually the right English is amongst, right? Amongst every 4 plants of coffee, like you can see where I am standing, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. There is a banana plant right here. It's the same over there. It's the same over here. And I've already mentioned, I must mention again, this is our unique way of doing it. Of course, most people who have visited us on this farm and in the other places, the recommended intercropping method is, you put the banana plants every 20 feet, meaning, for example, from the other one, we would have had to skip this one, and the next one should have been this one. But then for us, we said, no, we shall do between every 4 holes, we shall put a plant, meaning the banana plants themselves are 10 feet away from each other, but from each banana plant to the coffee crop nearby, it is 5 feet. That's what we decided to do. And still, as I've always mentioned, we shall be showing you how the journey goes. If we get to a point and realize we have to kill some of the banana plants because our main establishment in this part is the coffee, that's what we are targeting mainly. So if it gets to that point when we have to kill the plants, we have to remove the banana plants, particularly that is, then we will remove them and we shall be sharing that with you. What we didn't want, or what I didn't want as the proprietor of this establishment, was to just follow a notion without practically testing it myself. This is the first time I am seriously venturing out into coffee establishment. So I decided that I must learn this from scratch, so that if I ever find myself in a position of having to teach the next person, in inspiring and encouraging them to do the same, I know what I'm talking about. I'm talking to them from first principles. But here we are so far. This is how our 2026 is moving. Of course, this is supposed to be a highly or a heavy sunny season. But yeah, we have some water right up there. We've done some bit of work in establishing an irrigation system. We have not yet established it to full capacity, but at least we have been able to establish some of it that can help us to water our crops, okay? And as you can see, the plants go all the way to the other side, and then they also go all the other way to the other side, and also all the way down up to this plant here. For those of us who watched and followed that video, this you must have seen. I told you we are to expand this plantation up to this point, and here we are. That bit of the work has already been done, and I'm going to take us to the upper section where we are even expanding our coffee plantation. Okay, we have an expansion that we did on the Independence Day of Uganda last year. I'll be showing that in a video, and then we also put another part where we're going to be adding more coffee trees. The goal is to have at least over 1,000 trees, and then yeah, this is where we are. And still we continue with that same unique system of intercropping, but now in this particular section we are actually now going to be adding coffee amongst coffee. That what we are going to be doing amongst every 4 crops, that is that crop, this one behind me, and the other one, you can see we have already put a hole. We shall be putting coffee right there. And the holes have already been dug amongst all these trees. That's what we decided to do. And yeah, when it gets to a point and we realize that, hey, this method is not working, we shall see how to do or to go about it. We shall see how to deal with it when it comes to that time. But I believe, because I've seen people, or I've heard people talk about planting 5 by 10, 5 by, that is feet. Yes, I've heard people say 5 by 10 and all that. So we also decided to do this, our unique system, that when you see, in my own thinking, just to share with you, if you want to try it out, that's up to you, my viewer, who wants to venture into coffee. In my own thinking, this is what I see, that if this crop is right there, and this crop is also right here, if they are to grow, they are going to grow into these spaces, this side, and this side. But then what about this space right here? Okay, this will close up that space, and maybe the other space, and then that other space. But then what about this space? In my thinking, my imagination was these could also grow in their own unique way, closing up that space, this space, and that space. That's basically what we're doing. And of course, all this is geared at trying to, maximize this land. As I must have told us in our closing video last year, this is a place close to town. We don't have so much land here, and it's hard now to get a wholesome part of land. And that is 1. 2, even the cost itself is unmanageable because the prices have skyrocketed. So we decided to maximize the little that we have. And that's where we are now. So here we are. Like I told you earlier, I'll be showing us another section of this, our garden, where we decided to expand our coffee plantation too. And trust me, even in this space, we shall mix them. We shall intercrop the coffee or the banana with coffee and what have you. You can see the intercropped part of our plantation is right in the other direction, if the cameraman may show you. Right there. That's where the old plantation is, which is about 1 year and 3 months. That's it. 1 year, 2 months. 1 year, 2 months, 3 months, around there. That's it. Then I showed us another section of the same plantation where we have added. And now, in this particular section, we are adding more crops as part of our 2026 plan, okay? And we are going to continue with this project at least until we have about, like I said, over 1,000 trees. Currently, we have about maybe 600, 700, but we are going all the way until we have about 1,000 and beyond. But yeah, this is exactly what I was telling you about earlier, that we are doing here at this our farm in this year 2026. And of course, the goal, of course, is to boost our own income, or improve our own financial status. But most importantly, why I'm even sharing this is to inspire the people of God on how we can, use land, on how we can use agriculture to be in position to, improve our financial status, okay? So now in this section, again, I'm going to show you, earlier we had actually expanded, though I have not yet shown you that, but I'll show you that. I mentioned that during our Independence Day holiday, what we decided to do was to come and expand our coffee plantation. And it's in this section where we did expand the plantation, as you can see. If a cameraman may show you, we already have some coffee plants. There's this one, if you can see it. There's another one right there. There's also another one right there. But then again, using our own unique system, we decided that we add more. In that unique spacing of ours, as I mentioned, okay, we said that we're going to have amongst every 4 crops. So right here, we have a crop right there, a crop right there, a crop right there, and a hole in between. Right here where I'm standing, there's a crop here, a crop there, a crop there, a crop right behind me, and a hole in between. A crop here, a crop there, a crop there, and this other crop still behind me, and a hole in between. We want to utilize and maximize our land. Normally they say when you compact the coffee, you know it doesn't come out really well. And some of the reasons that are given, they talk about feeding the crops, that is with fertilizer and water, okay? And we feel that is work that can be done. At the end of the day, if we are going to be able to have a good harvest, which will eventually have a good contribution financially, in as far as our incomes are concerned, then why not? Why not? So this is how we are, my friends. This is how so far our 2026 is going. And of course, even the other things that we are doing, as I mentioned from the very start, we are determined to go with this all the way until we touch the cash, until we see the real harvest in terms of an improved bank balance. But most importantly, as I finish today, I just want to inspire you, my friend. That's the goal of this channel. That's the main goal of this channel, to inspire most especially the youth out there, because this is one of the mostly disguised, or at least one of the mostly disguised projects that people don't want to practice in, or have reservations over, or have the negative notions, let me put it that way. But as I was saying, what we're trying to do here is to inspire someone, because if the entire nation, that is my home country, Uganda, and the entire world feeds, and it will never stop feeding in both the good and bad times, then it means that if it is doing agriculture for money, the money will never get out of agriculture. Someone has just got to find out how to make the money. And once you find out how to make the money, that is balancing all the variables involved in agriculture until you make the money harvest, then why not? I believe once that is done, your incomes will be good, and forever, because like I mentioned earlier, people will continue feeding. So I just want to inspire, I just want to encourage you. You could also start your own project of this kind today, and feel free at any one point in time in the comment section, or reach out personally on my email, and we share how this can be done, and let's make this world a better place for ourselves and our loved ones. Until the next time, may the good Lord bless and keep you, and give you the courage to also start a project of your own like this today, or as the year goes by. It's still about that time for me to say Happy New Year and blessings, blessings, blessings. Cheers.